I'm going to set the intention for our practice today with a sentiment of metta, loving kindness, a mantra. We had a mantra making workshop this weekend, and we had different wonderful community artists come in and make these fabulous artistic cards. These are all lows. And we're going to pick one of lows as our intention for our practice today. So I'm going to invite our chime to sing. This is a mindful invitation to fully arrive to the beauty of this practice. Welcome, everyone. This is Recovery Dharma and the Spokane Sangha. My name is Julia. I love this sentiment of metta, everyone. This one reads, may you sweet talk to yourself. May you sweet talk to yourself. Yes, sirree, you fantastic, wonderful people. So amazing. I mean, and really think about it. We're carving out an hour of our incredible busy lives. For many of us in the inland Northwest, we have been navigating so much stress and anxiety with wildfires. We have had this blessing of rain and the air clearing. So many friends in our community have lost their homes, have had their homes threatened. There's just a lot of angst out there. If you're following the energy of the cosmos, if you know about that, Mercury is going into retrograde. That means things to people. It usually, for me, is all about communication. And Mercury in retrograde manifests usually as ineffective communication, challenging communication. So I mention that because it's such a wonderful opportunity to practice one of the aspects of the Noble Eightfold Path, wise speech. And an aspect of wise speech is silence. Pausing, making sure that what we impulsively want to react to meets three gates. Is what I'm about to say true? Is what I'm about to say kind? Is what I'm about to say beneficial? And for our intention today, is what I'm about to say sweet? So let's have that be part of our practice. We're going to begin our meditation today with an invitation to turn the gaze inward, take notice of the body, and recognize the body's need, and maybe even the body's want. Does your body want to sit? Does your body want to lie down? Does your body want to move? Coming into the mindful awareness of the body, honor what your body wants and needs, and allow yourselves a few moments to settle in. And breathe. We're going to bring forward Marty's mantra that he weaves throughout all of his guided meditations, which is just breathe. For the month of August, in the Spokane Sangha, we are exploring the theme patience. And last night in our practice, John, our facilitator, brought forward this wonderful perspective of duality and what I consider sacred paradox, where part of the human condition as it is alive in him, and really as it is alive in everybody, is this idea that we have so much and yet we still want more. For today's practice, I'd like to bring forward pairs of opposites, sacred paradoxes that really do capture the human experience. And in between those pairs of opposites is a space. And there I'd like you to plant the concept, the seed called patience. Patience for the positive quality that I'll bring forward, what we judge to be a positive quality. Patience toward that quality that we judge to be negative. When we extend patience toward ourselves for how these qualities show up in our lives, we recognize that both are teachers, both are thresholds to wisdom. When I am engaged in a sacred paradox, so for instance, I'm pretty practiced. I know how to breathe. I know my mind. I know how to trace its source, and I still get angry. And there's something in my mind that's like, oh my God, Julia, seriously? You're practiced. You know better than to lose your temper. What's the matter with you? You're better than this. You're more peaceful than this. And that's true. And it's also true that I get angry sometimes and I lose my temper. There are conditions that arise in me that sneak up on me. That's also true. The truth of the matter is I'm both of these things all the time. Patience allows me to see it with clarity. Patience allows me to examine my experience so that I can mitigate any impulsivity, and I give myself a chance to reduce any inflicted harm to myself or anyone else. In the West, we have a habit energy of pathologizing all the things we judge to be negative. In Eastern traditions, all the negative qualities, all those things that we judge to be negative, are simply folded into the whole human experience. The Eastern practices generate a lot of space for us to examine the conditions of these qualities rather than pathologize them, make them bad, and therefore we feel bad. We feel like we're bad people for having anger, for having addiction, for having impulsivity, for having confusion. This practice is an invitation to change the language and remember that as a human being, we are defined by our paradoxes. And let us, upon examination and discernment, invite those paradoxes to become sacred. Returning to John's teaching last night, the idea of a paradox within is to be content with what you have and to want more. Can you patiently sit with both of those things as they live in you, both of those qualities as they live in you? And the honest answer to that is yes and no. There's another paradox. Sometimes we're so patient with our contentment and our want. Other times we're not. Here's another sacred paradox. Everyone here has the capacity to be impeccably trustworthy. And everyone here has the capacity to lie. We all have the capacity to pause. We all have the capacity to react and be impulsive. We all have the capacity to be creative, and we all have the capacity to be dull. We all have the capacity to be active and lazy. Concentrated and distracted. Clear and confused. Joyful and sorrowful. What's alive for me today is I'm discerning a situation and its conditions that are activating my intuitive response, my gut response. And my intuition is throwing down yellow flags, putting up warning signs. I fully believe in trusting one's gut, trusting one's intuition. However, today, as I'm experiencing that, and as I'm trying to tell myself to follow my gut, I'm also entertaining doubt. A little insecurity, a little waffling. Well, maybe I'm not quite seeing things clearly. Maybe I can shift my intuition. Maybe I'm not seeing it all the way clearly. What this has generated for me is some uncertainty, some confusion. I feel a little unsettled. In my past, I would have spoken to myself a little bit like a drill sergeant or a taskmaster. Get over it, Julia. You know how to practice. Just follow your gut, move on, get over it. Now I'm practicing very differently, and I'm trying to be gentle with myself. Sweet, even. Julia, darling. This is intense. And there's layers of intensity surrounding this. Go easy into these cautionary zones. Tread lightly, walk gently, be quiet, and just breathe. So for the next few moments of silence, and in that spaciousness, allow a sacred paradox to come alive in you. Identify it. See if you can add words to it. And with patience, maybe even a little sweet talking, see how you explore that paradox. See how you examine the duality as it lives and breathes in you as you. Remember to breathe. Friends, let's end our practice today with a simple breathing mantra. Breathing in, it is true, I have many positive qualities. Breathing out, it is true, I have many negative qualities. Breathing in, the two together become truth. Breathing out, in this truth, I am whole. Well, let's go ahead and end our practice with a dedication of merit. And I'm just going to show you again Lo's beautiful art and her beautiful intention of may you sweet talk to yourself. I just love it. May you sweet talk to yourself. As we come back to this space, that invitation and that intention is such a gentle and compassionate reminder of when we catch ourselves doing something habitually, like being harsh, rolling our eyes toward ourselves, even using language that has a hint of violence to it. A word we might not even think about. It's so habitual. So to remember that violence and harshness is sneaky. And when we become aware of it, rather than to treat ourselves with more harshness and edginess, that's the moment to breathe with patience and offer ourselves some kindness and some sweetness. This is a slow grow practice, and we're here for the long term. May you all find safety in dark corners. May the light you seek outside of you catch your gaze and turn it inward, where the source of life lives. May your sense of peace radiate energetically and wrap around anyone who feels cold and abandoned. May your presence to yourself and others carry the spirit of belonging. And finally, may you know your practice changes lives. Thank you for your beautiful practice, your affection and your enthusiasm. It's contagious. We'll see you next time. Namaste.